The big man from the Morehead State men's basketball program now joining us on MSUEagles.com. It's 6'11" center Chad Posthumus. And Chad, your best performance by far in a Morehead State uniform last night against SIU Edwardsville. 15 rebounds in the first half alone, 19 for the game. Just talk about your performance. Coach Wood said after the game you had a mentality to just go get the ball off the glass, and you did that quite often yesterday.
Like we went over in film, he said there's going to be many opportunities in the game to be aggressive on the rebounds, especially on the offensive end. And I right from the get-go, I was right into the game, getting a bunch of pulling down boards left, right, and center, and then it felt like they were just coming to me. But then after looking at the film, I was out there, like you said, with that aggressive mentality. And I guess that's what I got to come with every game from now on, just to be successful like that.
You clearly came into the game and you were hungry to get those boards. I think you got maybe 3 or 4 in the first couple of minutes. Did that kind of fuel the fire within you and just really get you going?
Yeah, that definitely helped out. Like I saw after our first time out, I think Coach patted me on the back and said I had, 5 boards, 4 of them offensive, 1 defensive board. So that got me going. I was like, yeah, I can. That was only in like 5 minutes, so I can keep this going the whole game. I can end up with a pretty good number.
Chad Posthumus with us on MSUEagles.com, the 6'11" center for Morehead State men's basketball. And Chad, early on in the season, your minutes were a little more limited. You were coming off the bench. I think your season has really started to evolve. You're a fixture in the starting lineup now. You're going anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes a game. Coach Woods applauded you for your conditioning last night in the postgame. How do you feel on the court running up and down and logging more minutes?
That's one of the aspects of my game that I'm really good at. Like even in the conditioning we've been doing all year with Coach Sean Williamson, the strength coach here, I've had no problems with that. That's something that's always been a large aspect of my game, being able to run up and down the floor like one of those big centers like Tyler Zeller, if you can remember him. I pride myself in being able to play continuously, my motor.
Talk to us a little bit about, from now to the end of the season, if there was 1 or 2 areas you'd like to continue to improve, what would those be?
I've been talking with Coach Woods. Definitely got to improve my post moves, my shot when I get those offensive rebounds, and even when I get the ball in the post. I got to take my time more. I'm a little too quick off the gun right now. Too much just throwing it up there without thinking sometimes. So that's one part. And another would be just settling down a little bit, focusing more, because sometimes I get too excited and my brain's running 100 miles an hour that I have a little trouble just focusing.
You're 15 games into your Division I career. You dominated at the high school level, you dominated at the junior college level. How's the transition overall going to this speed and the size of the guys at this level?
I really like it. I find it a lot easier than the junior college level, because there I was always mismatched against guys that were a lot smaller than me, and although I could get the score inside easier there, just the running, just guarding a 2-man out on the wing when I'm such a big body as myself can be a little trouble sometimes.
Chad Posthumus with us on MSUEagles.com, and Chad, we'll take you away from the court just for a minute. Had a road trip not too long ago at South Dakota and North Dakota State, and I gotta admit, you seemed right at home with the climate and the weather up there. A lot of your teammates were freaking out about temperatures in the teens and the 20s with wind chills around 0, but you grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and you're used to that kind of weather, aren't you?
Yeah, that didn't bother me too much. Living is actually only about 5 hours north of where we were playing in North Dakota. So it got a little bit colder when I went back home for Christmas. It went to about minus 25 one day. But on the trip, it didn't really bother me much at all. It felt right at home, like you said.
Now, clearly, the team results were not where you guys wanted them on that trip, but I know you got to play in front of some family and some friends at North Dakota State, and I'm sure that was exciting for somebody who's a long ways from home.
Oh, definitely. That was awesome. Having being so close to home on that trip, and I think I had about 14 family members out that game, and I think they were louder than most of the people in North Dakota. So that was a great experience, and I ended up playing pretty well that game as well. Unfortunately, we did have that loss, but since then we've sat down as a team since those 2 games. We've had quite a couple meetings with the coaches and everybody, and just finding ourselves. And now come conference time, we started off with our first win, and like Coach said, you can't win them all if you don't get that first one. So that's a big part, just getting that first win, and now hopefully we can build upon that and make something special this year in the OVC.
You were telling me on the bus ride in between Vermilion, South Dakota and Fargo, North Dakota, a little more about your childhood and your sports background extending beyond basketball. I know you played ice hockey up in Canada, I think you played soccer and maybe a few other sports, but just kind of enlighten the viewers out there about your athletics beyond basketball growing up.
Well, my family's been huge into athletics. Ever since I was 3 years old, I've been playing hockey. Since I was 4, soccer, just everything. It's been a huge part of my life just growing up. Everything's revolved around it. Like if you're not at one athletic event, you're at another. So I ended up playing hockey all the way till I was about 17 years old, soccer till I was 16, and then I did all the high school sports. I played volleyball till sophomore year. I played football in my senior year. That was just a little stint, see how it was. Didn't really enjoy it though. It's a little different in Canada too, the CFL than the NFL. It's not the same type of game. But yeah, it's always been a huge part of my family and my life, and really enjoyed it. Really awesome. Don't know what else to say.
Chad, as we turn our focus back to the next opponent, it's Eastern Illinois here at Johnson Arena Saturday evening around 7:30. That'll follow the EIU MSU women's game. Just kind of your thoughts on the game plan and what you guys need to do to be 2-0 in the OVC.
Again, it's going to be the same type of game as the one we just played against SIU. We just want to keep attacking the glass. We gotta play solid defense again. And unlike the SIU game, we can't let up in the second half. We had an amazing first half of that game, holding them to, I think it was like 23 points and 30-some% from the field. So if we can sustain that, like Coach Woods has said, and do that for an entire 40 minutes, well, there's not going to be too many teams that are going to have a chance to beat us this year.
And you may not even know this because this is your first year in the program, but Morehead State has won about 85% of its games at home the last 5 years. Just, I guess, emphasize the importance of winning at home and taking advantage of that home court environment.
Yeah, definitely. The home court environment it's awesome. Like being here in Johnson Arena, it's home. Literally, it is. And then we have had some trouble on the road thus far this season, but if we can continue to just build upon our successes and feed off the losses, it's tough to lose. It's tough losing on the road and then having that road trip home. We don't want to have that. We don't want to have that anymore this year in the OVC. So hopefully we can, like I said, build upon the success that we've had this far in this start in the conference play, and move on from there.
Well, he's jersey number 20, and he's hard to miss. 6'11", Chad Posthumus has been our guest on MSUEagles.com, and Chad will remind fans once again, 7:30 Saturday night at Johnson Arena, Morehead State in Eastern Illinois. Best of luck to you and the Eagles moving forward, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you.